Hello dear student, today I am discussing about the single plate clutch. This is the learning outcome of the session. At the end of the session, students can learn the working construction of single plate clutch and analysis of clutch. And the student can also learn how to find the braking torque transmitted by the single plate clutch. Now, some of the points, very important point regarding a single point clutch. These are the very most common variety of the functions clutch due to the following reasons. First, solid or strapped discs are easier to manufacture than the friction element of other forms. That means disc clutch are in circular in construction, and the circular discs are very easy to manufacture other than the other forms of the clutch like cone, or we can say semi-centrifugal or centrifugal clutch. They require less space than the other type. ये जगह बहुत कम लेता है, स्पेस बहुत कम लेता है ये. देयर worn पार्ट कैन मोर कन्वीनियंटली बी रिप्लेस्ड. इसमें हमने सुना होगा, आपने सुना होगा कभी कि क्लच प्लेट जल गया, तो जला हुआ क्लच प्लेट जो होता है इजीली हम लोग रिप्लेस कर सकते हैं इस तरह के असेंबली से, क्लच से, सिंगल प्लेट क्लच के असेंबली से. ड्यू टू द अबव एडवांटेजेस, disc clutch are extensively used in automobile, tractor, machine tools and other tools. You can see here, this is a simple diagram of single plate clutch. You can see here the main parts, like this is the brake pedal, and this is a release lever. This is in here, there is a fulcrum point, and here also is a fulcrum point. There is a bearing, they called the thrust bearing. This is a spline shaft, and this is spring. This is called the body. This is flywheel. The hatching part is called the flywheel, and this is crankshaft. These are assembly in the one group, and this shaft is directly connected with the engine shaft, that is called the crankshaft. This is driven shaft. This is called driving shaft, and this is called driven shaft. This is input shaft, means engine shaft, and this is output shaft, that is called the gearbox shaft. This is clutch plate, the friction lining in the both side, and this is pressure plate. There is spline. Now some of the main parts which written in the slide, like the input shaft, we can say this is input shaft, or we can say this is driving shaft. This is output shaft, this is called driven shaft. This is clutch plate, this is spline hub, this is spring, this is a pressure plate, and this is the cover. Now this is the construction of single plate or disc clutch. You can see in this diagram, this is the construction. A single disc or plate clutch consists of clutch plate whose both sides are faced with a friction material. It is mounted on the hub, which is free to move axially along the spline of the driven shaft. The pressure plate is mounted inside the clutch body, which is bolted to the flywheel. Both the pressure plate and the flywheel rotate with the engine crankshaft or driving shaft. The pressure plate pushes the clutch plate towards the flywheel by a set of springs which are arranged radially inside the body. The release lever, you can see here, this is the release lever. You can see here, this is release lever inside the, which is red in color. This is release lever. No? The release lever are carried on the pivot suspended from the case of the body. These are arranged in such a way, yes, you can say such a manner, so that the pressure plate moves away from the flywheel by the inward movement of the thrust bearing. This is the thrust bearing. The bearing is mounted upon the forked shaft and moves forward when the clutch pad is pressed. Now this is the construction, and in actual practice flywheel is look like this. There is some teeth is cut on the circumference of the disc, because there is also a pinion which is connected with this flywheel, and the pinion is directly connected with the starting system of the vehicles. When we take a self in the car, the pinion start rotates, and due to starting of the pinion rotates the flywheel, and flywheel give the power to the engine, and then engine will start. Now this is the working of single plate or disc clutch. When the clutch pedal is pressed down, its linkage, this is the clutch pedal. When this pressed, its linkage force the thrust release bearing to move in forward, move in towards the flywheel end, pressing the longer end of the lever inward. As you can see in the diagram, the lever are forced to turn their suspended pivot and the pressure plate moves away from the flywheel by the knife edge. When the clutch pedal is pressed, the pressure plate moved backward and the connection from the flywheel is separated, and hence the action removes the pressure from the clutch plate and thus move back to the flywheel and the driven shaft becomes stationary. When the pedal is pressed, this shaft is stationary from this driving shaft, and at this time we can perform some specific tasks, like we can change the gear, we can stop the vehicles, or we can start the vehicles. In actual practice, clutch plate is look like this. You can see here, this is a friction lining around the inner surface, and this is a helical spring. The use of this helical spring is to absorb the shock whatever produced in the engine. Then one thing is clear, that when this clutch plate is pressed, this clutch plate or pressure plate move backward, and the driven shaft is stationary in condition. Now on the other hand, when the foot is taken off from the clutch pedal, the thrust bearing moves back by the lever. This allowed to spring to extend, and thus the pressure plate pushes the clutch plate back towards the flywheel and it get connects again. And whatever the motion, whatever the torque in this driving shaft, that will be transmitted in this shaft, that is driven shaft. And in generally, this clutch pedal, this connection is already in engaged condition. When we require to disengage, we have to press the clutch pedal, and the process is going on. Now we can see from a small animation, this is the animation of single plate clutch. You can see here there is no helical spring, but it is a diaphragm spring. You can see here, when this lever pushed centrally, the diaphragm lever, the two end of the lever springs are moved backward, and this force the you can see there the yellow in color, this is the pressure plate, force the pressure plate to move backward, and hence the pressure from the clutch plate removed. At the same time, clutch plate is separate from the flywheel, and we can perform the specific task. As I have already told in the previous slide, that we can change the gear, stop the vehicles, and we can start the engine. And when we remove the foot from the pedal, the spring wish to remove in the original position, and when the spring tends to comes in original position, then the pressure plates push the clutch plate, and this they will make a good connection between the flywheel and clutch plate. And due to the high friction generated at this point and this point, the speed of driving shaft is equal to driven shaft, and fully the torque is transmitted from this shaft to this shaft. Now this is the very important things in the single plate clutch, or the clutch, or we can say in the next chapter, bearing also. There are very important thing, two theories. First is uniform pressure theories and uniform wear theories. On the basis of these theories, we can find the torque transmitted by the clutch, because in the friction, there is in the contact surface between the flywheel and clutch, there is a high amount of frictional resistance is developed. This is the actual torque of a engine, whatever produced by the engine. Now let a clutch plate schematically shown in the circular disc like this, where and if we look from the side, the clutch plate look like this. You can see here, this is the clutch plate, and if you look from the front, they look like this in circular disc. Now let's see the torque transmitted by the clutch. and P is the intensity of axial pressure with which contact surface are held together, and R1 and R2 you can see here. This is external, R1 is external radius and R2 is a internal radius of a friction face, and mu is the coefficient of friction of this frictional material. First of all, I will discuss the uniform pressure theory. What is uniform pressure theory? When the pressure is uniformly distributed over the entire area of the friction face, then the intensity of pressure will be given as this. This is pressure is equal to force by area. That means W is a axial force, and this is area. Area can be taken from here because this we have like a hollow circle, and we can find the area. This is the axial thrust. Now, in the case of new clutches employing the number of springs and the pressure remain constant over the entire surface of area of the friction disk, this constant pressure distribution is as, we can also say, this is the a constant pressure distributed over the frictional surface of the clutch plate. It is also given by this P is equal to W by pi into R1 square minus R2 square. Now the torque transmitted is given as mu WR. You can see here mu WR. Mu is the coefficient of friction, W is the axial load, R is the mean radius. Now this expression is very important. If you suppose that this is a clutch plate and this hatching part is a small elementary area whose thickness is dr and which is small r distance from the center. Now the torque transmitted is given for this elementary section is this T is equal to 2 pi mu p r square into dr. Now to find the total torque transmitted by this system is, I have to integrate this equation from center to outer fiber. That means R2 to R1, radius R2 to R1. And after integrating this equation, we get T is equal to this, and this equation can be rewrite as this. Now, finally, T is equal to mu WR, but the value of R is changed. That is called the mean radius of the friction surface, which is given in the case of uniform pressure theory 2 by 3 into R1 cube minus R2 cube divided by R1 square minus R2 square. This is the torque transmitted by the clutch plate in the case of uniform pressure theory. And the second one is uniform wear theory. It is very, very important. According to this theorem, it is assumed that the wear is uniformly distributed over the entire surface area of the friction disk. And according to this theorem, it can be also explained as the pressure is inversely proportional to radius of the disk. That means pressure is maximum at the inner diameter and pressure is minimum at the outer diameter, according to uniform wear theory. In this, let P be the normal intensity of pressure at a diameter r from the axis of the clutch. You can see here, this is the center of the disk. Now we can say, according to wear theory, PR into C. That means pressure is inversely proportional to R. That in this equation, C is the constant. Now, what is the torque transmitted? The torque transmitted is given as this mu into torque is equal to mu into W into R, where we can say the mu is the coefficient of friction and W is equal to axial load and R is the mean radius, where R can be written as small r1 plus small r2 divided by 2. Thank you.